Hey, what's up, YouTube? 100% here. This is 100% me to you and Gam. And as you can see right down there, Duty Record is back. Shout out to Agent Eyes. He was one of the first people to actually put up a video that Duty Record was going to come back. And I first looked at like Troll. I don't know if you guys seen any of my videos from before, any of these videos that I put up on YouTube. And it looked like it was going to be Troll. I was talking about how the Donkey Kong thing was set it up, that the site wasn't ready, and you have the little jingle from Donkey Kong Country. And it was just like, it looked like it wasn't going to be up. But it is here and, it's official. So right here, they got information. They tell you what's going on. Like they just, updating servers, email confirmation and stuff like that. So I'm hyped, this is like one of those, this actually was the first game I played before YGOh Pro. It was Duty Network. And then I heard of YGOh Pro that you don't have to, the annoying part of Duty Network was that you have to do everything, but you get used to it. It wasn't even about doing everything. It was about the arguments. People that didn't know the rulings, like it was just crazy. But this is more for the pros because, the pros, if you're a pro, you should know how to do everything. You don't need an automated system, you know what I mean? But automated is even better because it's quicker. So, but there was like the top two games of Yugioh, which was Duty Network and then YGOh Pro. So it's back. All the updates there whenever you need it. They have like a cool intro whenever you enter the site. And I think I can show that right now. Let me reload it. And yeah, this is pretty much how it looks like. It's not that bad, right? Dueling Book. I forgot what the book meant in the name. It meant something. I think there's like an official like site now. Like they can't take it down again or something like that. I forgot what the book meant. Some people were talking about that. Like it's official now. Notice how they have the Discord, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I know they always had that because I remember Black Mesa Soldier was there. But something about the book and its name, the reason why they changed it from network to book is because it is official. I forgot what it was, but it's not like it's gonna go down anytime soon. Neither is YGOh Pro because why would it come back? I mean, but yeah, that's one thing I want to let you guys know. And pretty much my thoughts on Duty Network, it was just like same thing as YGOh Pro, Dev Pro, those games out there. It was just the fact that the community, like they had the Discord channels and stuff like that, but the because I remember you was able to chat in the game of Duty Network. That was like the cool thing that they had besides YGOh Pro. YGOh Pro didn't have like this chat system where you could chat with people. I think you can only chat with the people that you're dueling against or like the watchers, the people that's like watching you do. But this game actually had like a whole chat like log like where everybody's at, even the admins and stuff like that, which is pretty dope. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was this, which I'm hype about. Super, super hype about. There's gonna be a 6th season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, not season, that'll be what? Just a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Part 6. So it's after Arc 5. I don't know when it's gonna take place, but all the information is here. It says it right there. And I don't follow the anime. I think I only watched the first one, GX, and that was it. And then I was like, I think I did watch 5Ds. I don't remember. I think I speed ran through 5Ds, and then Zexo, I was watching from the beginning, but then I stopped. It kind of threw me off. I like at that time, it just threw me off when he did that whole Super Saiyan thing, that Galacto mode stuff, that his hair turns like Super Saiyan. I'm like, what the fuck was that? That right there, just because I'm like a Supreme Dragon Ball Z fan, like that killed it for me. And I said, okay, I don't need to watch this no more. But I'm a GX fan regardless. I feel like that was the best one because of Yubel and all that stuff. So only reason I'm hyped that there's a 6th series means that there's a new archetype coming out. Well, a whole bunch of new archetypes for sure. That's a whole bunch of cards coming out. But there's got to be some type of new game mechanic. Either it's going to be field, like Pendulum, something about the field, or a new type of summoning, or a new type of monster. It could be anything. It could be anything. It could be anything right now. And we have like a hint of that. So shout out to Asian guys again, because he made a video and he had like some source. That's not his source. He just found it out. This guy does his homework. And he was talking about like there being Let me see if I can pull it up. There being like new rules, literally. Like you don't start with 8,000 life points no more. You start with 12,000, and it was just crazy ass shit. So I want to give you guys my thoughts on what do I think the type of new style of playing is gonna be like. Putting up his channel right here because he has some sources here, and it was pretty good. Yeah, he got the video doing that for his back. Everybody's doing that video right now, so the more videos out there, the more people will know. So it says it right here. I think it's this one. Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. So this is some crazy speculation.
Like he's gonna say it right now. We're not gonna watch the whole video, but I'm gonna look it up for you guys right now. I know I should have it ready. Oh yeah, this is another update real quick. I'm gonna have an Instagram, and it's pretty much it's gonna be about the gym wear. I just came out the gym right now, and it's gonna be about like gym life, bike life, stuff like that. You guys can check it out, and then gaming as well. My team, and then my own page. It's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna check out my Instagram. All right, so this is like the actual source. I didn't even notice he had this video. I think I seen the older one. Yeah, I think I seen the older one. Let me close this out. He had like an older video. All right, so let me check this out. All right, right here. This is it right here. This has to be.
And I just want to stress that this is all speculation, but like I was streaming over on Twitch and you guys were spamming me. I was just trying to dance with my new character in Revelation Online. By the way, follow me on Twitch for some more questions. Now starts out with 12,000 life points.
This is what I was trying to pull. This is what I was trying to pull up. I'm showing his channel, showcasing it, but this is what I was trying to pull up. And this is just my thoughts on it right here. So it says new rules. It says each player now starts with 12,000 life points. And again, I'm sorry that I didn't have this ready. I just came out the gym, but look, check this out. Each player now starts with 12,000 life points, not 8,000. This is crazy. 12,000, you can't even OTK first turn. I mean, I know monsters that could go up higher than 12K, but that's because you could pendulum first turn. But look what it says here. The player who goes first cannot pendulum summon on his or her first turn. So you can't even like FTK, first turn kill, unless it's like Exodia or some type of shit, But like you can't even pull out that many stuff. I mean, there's still decks that runs pretty well without pendulums, but pendulums is beast when it comes to pulling out shit. So that's one thing to look at. Then it says the new banish zone located behind the left most spell trap card. So there's a translation, so it sounds kind of weird. But it says new banish zone located behind the left most spell trap card zone. So there's like a new banish zone. They have it's gonna be between the extra deck and the pendulum left side. So you know how you have the extra deck and then the pendulum zone on the top. It's gonna be between that. That's the new zone. Then it says new fourth deck outside of the main extra and side deck. So there's a fourth deck because there's 3 decks. You have the main, the extra, and the side. There's zones. So there's a fourth deck zone which is located behind the rightmost spell and trap card zone. So it's behind the spell and trap card zone on the right. So so basically Asian Eye says that the banish zone, the first one, he says that it's in between the pendulum on the left, the extra deck is in the middle of that. But this says the leftmost spell and trap card zone. So I remember now when I was watching his video, I was thinking like, wait a minute, wouldn't that be next to the extra deck? Because that's like where the banished. If you notice where the banished card zone is at, is on the top right. We have it on the top right of our monster card zone on the all the way to the right. So all the way to the left from the spell and trap card zones, that'll be next to the extra deck. So there's gonna be a new extra deck there, and a new extra deck a new deck next to the main deck, the fourth deck. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. Look, he tries to explain it here.
Broken for.
He's gonna try to explain it here. Watch.
Deck zone located behind here, so that's gonna.
All right. So look.
You have another area like right here, so that's gonna completely change up how the game is played. Now, what are the?
So so he said it's behind the left pendulum and then the back of the extra deck here. I'm saying it's since it's a new banish zone. This is the banish that's next to the graveyard. Sorry, I said the monster. Wouldn't that be here? That's the leftmost from the spell and trap card zone. Spell and trap card zones here. It says leftmost. That should be here. Then the other one says located behind the rightmost spell and trap card zone. So all the way to the right, there's a main deck. So it's gonna be right here. Cause you know, it will be balanced, right? That's how. So I'm assuming that's how it is. I'm not sure, but let me go back to the effect of this right here. I don't know why the video wasn't doing that earlier. All right, he hasn't even pulled up the other he hasn't even pulled up the other effects. I mean the new summoning. He's gonna put it up now. So right, this is crazy. This is crazy right here. This is sick. Give me 1 second. Let me just. Yeah, take off the. That's the guy that for the translation. The guy he's giving credit to. But when you translate Japanese and English, Japanese is technically backwards. English when it's translated, for example, like whenever a name is used in English at the end of a sentence, the Japanese will use it at the beginning of the sentence. That's what I've noticed a lot from watching anime. Just a whole bunch of other Japanese things. All right, so same shit. The exclusive zone established in the back of the EX, the first of the Magic and Trap. Main X side is part from the fourth deck main deck. The top right of the Magic and Trap. So it's main deck of the main deck. All right, so there's a better translation. So it says, life was 12,000. 1 turn speed, you can pendulum. The exclusion zone was newly established. Exclusion. It's called exclusion. So that's what oh my God, I think I know what it's going to be. And it's going to be sick if this is what they're doing. This is going to be so crazy. Because I made a video on this on like, why do people quit Yu-Gi-Oh? And I was explaining how Yu-Gi-Oh worked. So before I explain what's going to happen, this video is going to be pretty long. And I know by now you guys are probably thinking about taking off the video, but don't take it off because I'm going to say some real smart shit when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh. So watch. So it says the exclusion zone was newly established in the back of the EX. The first of the Magic and Trap. In the back of the EX, the first of the Magic and Trap. In the back of the EX, I'm assuming they're talking about the extra deck. The first of the Magic and Trap. It says EX. So it's behind the extra deck. Could be to the left of it. Who knows? So it looks like it's behind. Then it said the main EX side is part from the fourth deck. Main deck of the main deck. The top of the right. The top of the right of the Magic and Trap. The top of the right of the Magic and Trap. So it's gonna be it's gonna be an inner deck. So it should be the top of the right of the Magic and Trap. So that means that the main deck zone gets pushed back, and there's gonna be a zone in front of it, in between the graveyard and the main deck. That's where it's gonna be at, from what this shit says. The second kind of new summons. That's the second kind of new summons. So that has to do with the new summons. That zone between the graveyard. That zone between the graveyard and the main deck, has to do with the new summons. That's where the new monsters will go, I'm assuming. Or it's just a new type of summons. It could be our monsters. Now, this is the way it works. It says, this is confusing because of the translation. It says, a level of different monsters. A level of different monsters. A level, that's the confusing part. A level, you got to break this down. It's confusing because of this. It says a level of different monsters. A level. So you got to think about it in numbers. A level of different monsters. So think about different monsters, ritual, fusions, whatever the fuck you want. Anything. They talk about a level, not as in literally level, talking about as in a lot of monsters, a whole bunch of different monsters. More than one condition, period. Meaning it don't matter what levels they are. It could be 1, 3, 4, 7, 9, whatever it is. When the criteria is set up, when the requirements are met. Remember in Yu-Gi-Oh, they always change the wordings on things. Even like the whole effect, effect 1, effect 2, they always change that when a new season comes out. So it says when the criteria set up, the most high level monsters, you gotta pause right there because I remember this shit gets confusing. The most high level monsters. So the monsters with the highest level. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's make it better. You have 3, 2 4s. So that's 3 monsters and a 7 and an 8. 7 and 8 is the highest, right? Yeah, because there's nothing higher than 7 except 8. You know what I mean? So that's that's what it's basically saying. So the most high level monsters, the same number of monsters that have the same number of monsters from the 4th deck. This is the craziest part. So it says, when the criteria is set up, the most high level monsters have the same number of monsters that have the same number of monsters from the 4th deck. Meaning, there's the one conclusion I came to. Since there's a new deck zone, maybe the monsters has to do with a number. And depending on the number that you have set it up on the field, remember it says when the criteria is set up, depending on that monster's level combined, you could bring that monster out. So what I'm thinking, this new 4th deck is gonna have numbers in the back. Like it's gonna be cards that have like shit on the back. Like I think it's Vanguard or Magic that does that. I don't know. So I don't know how much you can have in this 4th deck, but let's say the number of the back of that card says is 15. So like I said, we have a level 3 and we have 2 level 4s on our side of the field, but we have a 7 and an 8. That's the highest level monster on the field because there's nothing higher than 7 except 8. So all the monsters are taken up. So obviously, even if you only had 7 and 8, that's the only 2 monsters you have with the highest level. So I'm assuming at that point you can only consider depending on what type of summon you're gonna do. But let's say that monster on the back has a 15. I think you could bring out that monster. And it says, and it's possible to go to the special summoning. I think you could bring out that monster. That was one thing I thought about. But I kept reading it and I said, it says a level of different monsters. A level of different monsters. So now I'm thinking about monsters with level. And it's ritual, everything except exceeds. He has rank. But that's why I think it's not that, because Yu-Gi-Oh tends to work with the old monsters that came out before. That was one of the things that I said in my videos that Yu-Gi-Oh does not do. Konami does not do. They do not leave anything behind. GX, from the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh, was all normal monsters, B-sticks, and effects. Towards the end of the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh, that's when effects became a thing. Then in GX, they made it a thing. Like, it wasn't just about B-sticks like the first season. That was about B-sticks and effects. You know what I mean? Because that's how Yu-Gi-Oh, the first season ended. And then GX, it was all about monster effects. Gladiator Beast, Light Storm, they was out there really going in. Then, since it was all about monster effects, they wanted to make every single monster have an effect. So they made tuners and they made synchros. Now, yeah, the synchros is cool, but the reason why tuners came, there's tuners in 5Ds, and the reason why they came out is so they can make basically vanilla cards have an effect. Because it's like, okay, you have no effect, but if you're a tuner vanilla, you basically have an effect. You could synchro summon. So they made them relevant again. Now, monster effects took over. What can help you take on monsters quick? What is mostly known to take on monsters quick is trap cards, and then other monsters. So basically, not whoever got the better deck, but whoever got the hardest hitting monsters. Not about having the better deck. So let's make trap monsters. That's when they made Exceeds. I said a story about how Utopia saved my life because Utopia is like a baby negate attack type of thing, except except negate attack ends the battle phase. But you could think about an Exceed monster as a monster, and you have 2 set downs on your side of the field, which is 2 Exceed units, but it feels like you have 2 set downs. They're technically trap monsters. So it would only make sense that Yu-Gi-Oh would make Arc 5. Magic monsters. There's trap monsters, there's magic monsters. They're not leaving nothing behind. So for me, that's why I said what I'm about to say now is not the case because they wouldn't leave Exceeds behind because this is a level of different monsters. So remember the first example I just gave that I just said right now, I said it don't matter. They don't need to have levels or whatever it is. Even though it works with levels, they don't need to have levels, because it could probably depend what type of monster you have on your side of the field or whatever it is to send it. Because let's say the monster was 8, but the fact that it was 8 and the back of that card says 8, what if you just need another card that's a certain type with that card and you can send it to the new zone, the banish zone, the exclusion zone, and then bring out that card? Who knows? I don't know. So there's my other guess, a level different monster. So this excluding the Exceeds. But I was just basically saying it's like you're synchroning, but it don't matter what it is. So it's the same thing with the monsters having the numbers on their back or just having a level, a level that exceeds level 12. This could be the new thing. There's new monsters that exceeds level 12. And you could just not synchro summon, but like put them together. That's the materials. Because the criteria is set it up. And you could bring that shit out. It could probably be a monster that's level 30 or the monster has a number 30 on the back of the card. And that could be it, So the reason why I didn't like that was because, like I said, that leaves Exceeds behind. They wouldn't want to leave Exceeds behind. Yeah, that wouldn't work. Now, another thing that I was saying, it's probably not like a new type of summoning. It's just a new way of dueling. So the 4th deck, you have to give something in return, or you have to take something out of completely out of the game in order to draw from there. So I was thinking maybe this new 4th deck, you have to draw into it, but in order to draw into it, you got to give something in return. So I think that new 4th deck, you can see where you're gonna draw. It could be a new magic card, a new trap card, or a new monster card, or a fusion card, or whatever it is. So the way it would work is imagine beast ass cards. Imagine beast ass cards in that new 4th deck. And let's say you can have up to 15. And you shuffle them and you leave them face up on your side of the field. So it's gonna be like the main deck, but instead of upside down, it's face up. So now imagine you gotta give up a type for that type of card. So the exclusion zone is the zone that them shit is not coming back. The remove from play card zone. You could bring cards back to your hand, special summon them. You could do anything pretty much with it, as long as it's not face down. I think even if it's face down in Yu-Gi-Oh, they still consider remove from play. You can send it back to the graveyard or something like that. So maybe the exclusion zone is something that no matter what, you can do shit with them. They're gone. So if you want to bring out, let's say, a fusion, one of those new, it's basically the same thing. It's like a fusion monster, but it's just from the 6 series. They'll probably look different. It's like, oh, this is a fusion monster from the 6 series, or a fusion monster from the future. It's a spell card from the 6 series, spell card from the future. I don't know how it's going to work in the show, but it could be something like that. So if the face-up card on your new 4th deck, it's a spell card, you got to give either 1 spell card for this card or 2 spell cards, and then you could draw from there. So you get to choose in your draw phase where you want to draw from, but there's a cost. And then you could get some beast ass shit from there. So imagine a fusion card that's beast from there and bring it to your extra deck, or like a beast as Exceed, bring it to your extra deck, or beast as Synchro, bring it to your extra deck. It's like for you to set up. It could be something like that. Or if it's a beast as monster you want to bring to your hand or special summon it, you got to give certain shit. You got to either have certain level monsters on your side of the field to bring it out and send them to the exclusion zone, or if you just want to add it to your hand, you just got to give a 2 from your hand or something added to your hand. So the fourth deck, you can either add cards to your hand, activate them straight ahead, set them, special summon them, whatever it is you got to do, but there's just a cost. That was one of the things I was thinking. So the first one, they have numbers in the bag, you just bring them out. The second one is like synchroning, but it has to do with level. So the other one is just they have numbers in the back. So 7 and 8, you're not really synchroning. You're just declaring you can bring out this monster because it's 15. And that's it. The other one is basically the exact same thing. The only thing you got to send them to the exclusion zone. They can't be used. And you bring it out from there. Or what I just finished saying right now, you give a card in return for that. Because it'll be a new mechanic, period. And then the last one that I was thinking about, it was like, it's like a random deck. Like depending on how many monsters you have on your side of the field and the levels, you know what I mean? So for example, even if it's an exceed that has rank that doesn't have level, that'll be considered a level 1. So that could be considered one monster. So it'll be like this, for example, because exceeds could be used in this way. So you have a level 3, right? Normal monster. You have a level 4 effect monster. Then you have any monster you could think of, a synchro, ritual, fusion, whatever it is. But to make it easier, let's just use 3 monsters. So you have a level 3 vanilla, level 4 effect, and you have an exceed. Now the exceed is automatically, not that it counts as one level, it counts as one card. So you're supposed to add everything. So I have 3 monsters on my field. Plus its level, and then plus the amount of cards that I have. So 3 monsters on the field plus its level plus the amount of cards that I have. So for example, normal 3, effect 4, that's 7. Okay, there's no level on the exceeds, but so it's considered 0 because that's rank. But it still counts because you add even the amount of monsters you have. So you're not even synchroning. Basically, you're like synchroning and exceeding at the same time. And then it's kind of like, in a sense, like pendulum, because they go to the exclusion zones and you could probably bring them back out to like cancel that monster you brought up from the 4th deck. So meaning, since you have 3 cards, that's basically 10. Because there's 3, level 3, the normal, level 4, the effect, that's 7. But that's 3 cards. So normal, the effect monster, and the exceed. So you add those 3, 10. Do whatever it is you got to do. Send it to the exclusion zone or whatever it is. Bring out the monster. And then you could keep swapping back. Keep swapping back. It's probably something you can do. And then my last idea of like what it could possibly be. Honestly, your main deck is probably what it is. But basically, you can exclude all the cards in your main deck, and those cards can't be used no more. It's basically like you give. It's like the 4th deck helps you not deck out. So in a sense, it's like you give up the rest of your card in your deck to have like more cards left in your deck. So it's like you're resulting into using that to save you. That's basically what it is. So it's just like, let's say you have so you have a 40 card deck, you have 20 there. These cards have beast as effect, so you have to give 20 of your original cards from your main deck, and then you can't touch your main deck no more. You got to use the 20 from your new 4th deck, basically. That's what it could be too. So let's say so basically, if you have so the way it's gonna work is if you have let's say you have 1 card left in your deck, right, and you only have 20, you only have 20 on your deck. I think the way it would work is basically the same cards that you use to exclude. Let's say you didn't do it, right? You didn't do that effect to use that because you could trust in your deck, in your regular deck. You could give those 20 cards from the new 4th deck to bring out cards. Let's say if you excluded them in the middle of that duel, bring them back into your deck. So it's like you put your deck on pause, use that deck, and then it still didn't work out. So you said you just swapped them, basically, something like that. So it's like, okay, you have 40, you have 20 of those. Now I want to use this deck. Give 20 away. I use this. It didn't work out, so I have 1 left. So I basically give my other 20 away, and I get my other main deck back, and then I don't use that last card, because if you use that last card in the fourth deck, you could lose. So it's like you could save your ass. Who knows? Maybe it's like that. I don't know. And any other idea that I have is just, if your main deck matches the amount of cards you have in that deck, you can special summon any card from that deck. It's probably just monsters. You just gotta pick it up, see if you can special summon, and special summon. If not, you can just return it, and that's it. So let's say I use my main deck, right? I have 23 cards left, and then in that deck, we basically could like draw from that deck, or we could have a certain amount of cards in the deck, as much as we want, to special summon. So it's like you gotta set yourself up basically. So it's like you can have up to 60 cards in that deck. And then from each time you play a duel, you could probably special summon that card. So let's say you start with, let's say in that deck you have 40, and you start with 40. So, I mean, look, just saying that deck you have 40 and you have 35, depending if you go first or not, 35 on that deck. So you could declare if you want to like discard it, or like you could declare if you want to send it to exclusion zone or just special summon. So that's what I'm saying. So, because some people's gonna be like, so what happens when you have 40 and you draw your 5? Now you're gonna be above your main deck. I'm like, yeah, but maybe they'll allow you to draw from there, or just send it to the exclusion zone. You're not gonna use it at all. So obviously, when you have that deck prepared, you want to have less than the amount of cards you have in your main deck. You just want to make sure you want to have 5 cards less or 6 cards less. 10 to be safe. Is up to you. And then from there, once your deck matches, is you have 30 in your main deck, 30 in your fourth deck, you can declare a special summon by looking at it. And if it could do it, you do it. If not, it gets sent to the exclusion zone, or it goes to the bottom of the deck, something like that. Most likely, it's gonna be the exclusion zone. That was a mouthful. So y'all can read this, but that's pretty much all the updates I have for you guys. Duty Network is back. Duty Network is back. These niggas is doing a Yu-Gi-Oh! 6. That's dope. You kind of summoning mechanics and all that stuff. So it doesn't like, but you can't pendulum summon. So like I said, look, just when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh!, they don't leave anything behind. I don't know if everything that I said is right. It might be right, it might not, but that's just how it goes. So just look forward to that, because it could either happen or not, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. They don't leave anything behind. Remember, it was vanillas and B-Sticks. Then it became about effects and B-Sticks at the end of the first season. Then in GX, it was all about effects and B-Sticks. And then it like solidified itself when it came to effects and B-Sticks with Light Storm and Glider Beast and all that stuff, and the Yubel and all that stuff. So you want to fight these? They were like, yeah, this game is about monster effects. Let's throw in tuners. Now vanillas even matter, because vanillas now, they basically have an effect. They're tuners, so they can synchro. Boom. Monsters became out of control. Yo, we need more traps to help, these monsters that's out here. But let's not make another type of trap. It would probably be too confusing. Oh, if we make trap monsters, so there you go, Utopia. You basically have 2 negate attacks without the effect of like bringing it to main phase 2. Utopia is like Utopia is like a monster with 2 Creebon effects. So you have 2 trap cards basically. That's what an XC units is to me, at least. And that's only for monsters that you use against your opponent when is your opponent's turn. For example, because there's some XC cards that allows you to draw. You know what I mean? So think of it as a trap card that allows you to draw or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's how I feel. I feel like XC monsters are trap monsters, and that's why they made pendulums magic monsters. They just made perfect sense. And they even have Exceed pendulums, synchro pendulums, and all this other stuff, ritual pendulums, fusion pendulums, I think. Because I was just seeing the updates on these cards. So they're not going to leave anything behind. And I don't think it has to do with level, because Exceed does not have level. Exceed does not have level. And if they do something with level, it wouldn't work with Exceeds, because they have rank, and they can't just do anything with rank unless they declare that rank is considered level with this type of summoning or some shit like that, or levels considered rank with this type of summoning, then yeah, but I think that'll be too confusing. So they'll keep it normal. It's probably about, like I said, how many cards you have on the field. Like, okay, you have 3 cards on the field, so it's not even about synchroning levels, because it wouldn't even matter. So if you have 3 monsters on the field, depending on what type of monster it is, type effect, or even card type, like Exceed, Synchro, or whatever, then you could just do some type of summoning, because then right there you wouldn't need level, and you shouldn't worry about rank or anything. It's just how many cards literally on the field. So it's like synchroning, but instead of with the levels or rank or some shit like that, but with the actual number of cards you have in the field, which will be beast. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thoughts on it. 100% here. The video is really long, but it's a beast update, and I'm truly hype about it. Check out my other videos about why do people quit Yu-Gi-Oh! I explain like the formula of Yu-Gi-Oh! Really well on both videos, and you guys understand like what I'm talking about now. So just look forward to more videos, and I'm gonna get ready to make another video right after this. Gonna talk about Dragon Ball Super probably tonight, probably not. If not, I'm definitely putting up some Street Fighter content. It's been a minute, so just look forward to that. Stick around, and later, 100% signing out.